Hi everybody. Why do people who stutter not stutter when they sing? I've been asked this quite a lot of times. We know it's true, although I was thinking maybe there's a situation in our head when it wasn't. But generally, this is true. And I can remember being on stage delivering, I think it was a Pecha Kucha in town, and during the break someone came up to me and they said, how come people who stutter don't stutter when they sing? They knew somebody who had a stutter and they were in a choir or something like that. So I don't know the answer, so I've gone to ChatGPT, my trusted friend, and let's see what it comes up with. So I just asked simply, why do people who stutter not stutter when they sing? And it said people who stutter often do not stutter when they sing because singing involves different cognitive and physical processes than speaking. Here are some key reasons why this happens. So the first one is rhythm and melody. And I'll just run through the headlines. Rhythm and melody, breathing patterns, less pressure to speak normally, motor planning and coordination, emotional expression, cognitive and neural differences. So let's see if we can gain some sense or maybe learn something about how to control our stuttering because of this. Rhythm and melody is the first one. Singing is a more structured form of vocalization. The rhythm and melody give the speech a predictable flow, which can make it easier to produce words without stuttering. The musical patterns provide a kind of scaffolding for the speech, helping to smooth out the natural hesitations or blocks that might occur during regular speaking. Well, one of the things that I've thought about is that you've got certainty, as in your mind isn't sorting around, searching around, looking for the right word to say or avoiding words to say. It's just, these are the words, like the lyrics are the lyrics. So that's kind of formulating what you want to say and sticking to it. So that was one of the things, and that kind of that scaffolding for the speech, it's kind of, supporting you on both sides, saying, well, you don't have to do anything over there, you just do this. So thinking about what you want to say and sticking to it. Much the same way is that if you prepare a speech, you write a speech, this is what you're going to say. I've heard a lot of people who are fluent go off on tangents or add stuff in. And I've told people, just say, if you wrote a speech verbatim, word for word, just say what you're going to say. Number 2, breathing patterns. Singing requires controlled, steady breathing, which is often different from the more erratic breathing that can accompany stuttering. The breath control needed for singing helps maintain a smooth, continuous flow of words, which can prevent the momentary blocks that stuttering typically involves. Well, I don't know that. If that was true, then it was just, how do they say that? Controlled steady breathing. Well, I guess when you do therapy, they want you to get into controlled and steady breathing so that you get into a rhythm. So that's one thing there. There's definitely erratic breathing when you think about stuttering. And even when I do these videos, I get feedback in my head for the headphones. Now, I think that means that I'm going to work more on the sound of my voice. I don't think it makes me more fluent or anything like that, but I do know that I can get a steady, continuous flow of words, which is one of the things that they've said in there. So, yeah, and of course, a lot of people, Dave McGuire, said that he learned more about stuttering when he did that work with that opera singer as well. Number 3, less pressure to speak normally, it says in quotation marks. When people sing, there is less pressure to meet the expectations of normal, fast-paced speech. Singing tends to be more deliberate and slow, which reduces the anxiety or self-consciousness that may accompany speaking and trigger stuttering. Now, I know one thing is that if you consider rap singing, which I'm not too sure that you would, but if you've ever tried to keep up with Eminem when he's rapping, as I say, if that is considered singing, I can't do it. I just physically can't talk that fast. I can't move from one shape to the next. So this says about more deliberate and slow. It is more deliberate and slow. And a lot of the therapy for speaking is slowing down first, staying controlled, and then speed up. Never thought about how slow you are in singing. Imagine there's no heaven, easy if you try. I guess it is quite slow. Yes, that song is. Anyway, what was the other thing that was in there? When people sing, there is less pressure to meet the expectations of normal fast-paced speech. I wonder if there are expectations of fast-paced speech or whether we put those upon ourselves. There are some people I know who speak very slowly. Wouldn't have thought they're pressured. Number 4, motor planning and coordination. Speaking and singing involve different areas of the brain for motor planning. Singing, especially if done with emotion or with a strong connection to melody, may activate more automatic and fluid speech patterns, reducing the likelihood of stuttering. So my first thought is I wonder if we can tap into those when you're speaking. And I know that if I get angry, then the words just come out. That's that swearing thing. So maybe that's a different part of the brain. But then sometimes people get excited, which is also an emotion, but then that could be stuttered speech, couldn't it? So don't necessarily know that totally follows through. And is there anything else in there? Melody. Some people want to speak in melody. Yeah, interesting. Have to have a think about that. What are your thoughts? Number 5, emotional expression. Singing can be emotionally expressive, and the act of conveying emotion through music may help the person feel less inhibited, which could be related to no holding back and, no holding back. So you just do what you want. The other thing, of course, is that when you're singing, or maybe when you're singing, when you're learning to sing, maybe you've got other people around you so that your voice is actually obscured by all of the other voices around you as well, so that you develop confidence that you're not going to stand out. And then when you have to stand out on your own, well, you've already got some successful singing history to fall back on. Just throwing it out there, just ideas. No, and the last one, 6, cognitive and neural differences. There is evidence suggesting that singing and speaking use different neural pathways, which is kind of what it said before about motor planning, which may explain why people who stutter are sometimes able to sing fluently while stuttering when they speak. Singing activates more areas of the brain related to melody, rhythm, and emotion, which might bypass the parts of the brain involved in the speech disfluency that leads to stuttering. Now, there's so many things here. Again, can you use melody, rhythm, emotion to tap into while speaking so that you're hitchhiking on the same cognitive neural process? That would be one thing. And it says in there, bypass the parts of the brain involved in the speech disfluency that leads to stuttering, which assumes assumes that we're hardwired to speak, or there's something in our brain that we usually turn on when we're speaking that causes a stutter. I don't know. So much to think about, but there's a lot to think about it. So in short, what do I take from that? If somebody asks me now, wow, why do you sing fluently and why do you speak this fluently? I would say, well, I basically follow a different neural pathway in my brain when I'm singing, and that the lyrics give me certainty and I can get into a rhythm. So I want to just keep the rhythm going, and I'm probably more focused on the rhythm rather than how to say it, which is an interesting one because some people think that we try too hard to say the words, but maybe when you're focusing on something other than saying the words, then we just say the words. Who knows? In short, the unique features of singing, such as rhythm, melody, and controlled breathing, create an environment that supports smoother, more fluent speech, helping people who stutter to sing without the same difficulties they might experience when speaking, it says in summary. So there you have it. So in short, breathe, get into a rhythm, and keep moving forward, no holding back. Formulate what you're going to say. Don't think about doing anything else. Just what you thought about saying. Until next time, bye for now. Hope you got some value from this video. If you did, thumbs up, like, share, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your enemies if you want, tell anybody. Bye.